know, man. Yeah. He incited that fucking riot. He's a piece of shit.
Oh, why? He's a piece of not just shit. He's worse than shitty person, but he's so fucking childish.
I want to know if Twitter banned his ass. I don't think they did. This supports Trump, at least until transition complete. Oh, so Facebook and Twitter temporarily lock Trump's account after riot on Capitol Hill. How do you like that shit? Oh, that's funny.
Did you hear about the rally that he put on?
I think I might have watched some little portion of it.
He had these speakers, like, dude, they went full fucking nutter. He had these anti-vaxxers come up and talk. This guy come up and started talking about like not wearing masks and
Really? What's the matter
revolt.
with him?
And he's like,
and revolted? Did you say revolted?
We need to fight for Jesus and freedom.
It's a very sick fucking.
We do not recognize the communist puppet Biden. Oh yeah, Alex Jones was there. He had Alex Jones talk at his rally.
How sick is this guy, Outbound? I mean, seriously. I mean, he's blowing himself up. He's blowing himself up.
Yeah, but it's the crazy thing is that like the auditorium was cheering. Like,
oh, that's even scarier.
It's not just him.
I know, that's even scarier.
75 million people voted for this guy.
No, not for those reasons. You know, that 74 million voted for him mostly because of their what they perceived was a better economic climate.
Yeah, I understand that they're not all going to be in that group, but starting with 75 million is not a good number. Like,
that's a reflection of a very real dissatisfaction.
I'm just saying, if half all the people voted for him are like that, that's a bad thing, right?
No, but that's not going to be the case.
If 50% of them were like that, and only a million,
that's not going to be the case either.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
This is fringe. They may support him en masse. They'll never. How many people showed up at that fucking place? How many people actually broke into the place? It was a peaceful fucking protest. There's only a percentage of them that actually tried to break in.
Do me a favor and Google how many people are anti-vaxxers in America.
Well, that's a specific issue, and you can shake.
So is Trump. There's a lot of overlap there.
Yeah, there's going to be a way to unhinge a lot of people on a subject like that. But they're not. He hasn't motivated 75 million people to storm the Capitol.
No, but even if it's a million, that's a problem. That's a huge problem.
Yeah,
and that's only a 75th of his voters.
Yeah, but they're not. It's not an organized problem.
I'm gonna have to Google it for you. Yeah,
the only organization in that support system are Proud Boys and morons like that.
Dude, all on Facebook. Dude, there are Trump groups all over the internet with like there's a Trump Reddit that has millions of people on it.
Right. That doesn't mean they're your puppets.
I didn't say they were.
I'm worried about the fringe. I'm worried about the dangerous fringe. That's the fringe.
We're discussing the size of the problem.
Yeah, the fringe problem. The people that will get violent. The people that will storm the Capitol building, no less.
Right. Well, those people are motivated by the group too. Like they're all.
No, that's not fair to say.
It is.
No, they may draw inspiration from the group. That's got nothing to do with the group or why they shouldn't be there or should be there. That's bullshit. They're motivated because they're nuts. These people were protesting.
But call it what it's violence either way. I don't care.
Yeah, but just look at the violent fringe that actually acted on it. And who's to say it wasn't Antifa infiltrating? I doubt it. I don't really believe that. You got to be suspicious of everything.
First, there are people who have been persuaded of the merits. So, second, there are dogmatic. So it's minimum 10% of the country are anti-vaxxers.
Okay. 10% of the country? So that's 30
says
million,
70
33 million people.
It says 70 to 90% were persuaded of the merits of vaccination.
All right, so just go with 80. Say 20% of the population are out, which is about 60.
And I would bet that 99% of those are Trumpsters.
So that's like 60 to 70 million people.
That's a lot of people, and that's just the anti-vaxxers. There's going to be ones no, he would be anti-vax too, wouldn't he?
I wonder how many people don't get the vaccine every time it comes out anyway. I wonder what the percentages are there. I wonder how much worse it's gotten. You might want to look at that stat.
That's going to be real small because they require it for you to go to school.
Well, then it's going to require the anti-vaccine vaxxers to do the same.
There are a lot of anti-vaxxers that have already been vaccinated before they were vaccinated when they were a kid, and maybe they vaccinated their kid before they became an anti-vaxxer.
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, I thought you were talking about the flu, that you need a recent vaccination to combat it. I'm not talking about vaccinations in general.
Now those ones, they are a lot. They're, let's see.
60 or 70 million people don't want it. I'm talking about this vaccine, not a history of the vaccine, polio and everything else.
You're talking about COVID?
Yeah, I thought that's what we were talking about.
It says only 50% of people ages 6 and older got the flu vaccine. I don't know COVID. You can't really look at COVID because it's not even available to everyone yet.
Yeah. But I'm just wondering what the standard abstention from vaccination is in the population.
I see. What percentage of people are refusing it that it's offered to?
That normally refuse a vaccine every year for the flu.
Oh, that's 50% of age over 6.
Normally would never get a vaccination anyway. 50% of the people over 6? That's a lot.
Yep.
So if there's overlapping, there's really no increase in that number.
There's no increasing that number.
Well, 50%.
I think people are less motivated to get the flu vaccine because it's not as deadly. So, and it hasn't been a big media sensation. Whereas the COVID thing, I think a lot more people are going to show up to get it, especially since
it's more of an issue.
I mean, another thing that's going to be different. See, the flu shot is not a good example because there's nowhere that requires you to get a flu shot. The other vaccines you are required to get to go to school as a kid.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about them though. That's a different problem.
COVID's going to probably be required for school and for work. So it's good. This is kind of a new. It's not unless you work at home, which a lot of people do now, or if you're unemployed.
It sounds like there's a new industry coming up. Documentation that I got the shot.
Oh yeah, they already have a plan for it. They're gonna have a card. It's gonna be like an ID card.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fraudulently produced. Right? For people that don't want to get the shot.
Trump's going to fly his jet over America and he's just going to sprinkle cards everywhere.
Well, There'll be manufacturers popping up all over the place. Get out of vaccine free card.
Well, soon we'll see vaccines on Amazon.
Yeah.
I guess. Hey, Richard, do you want to buy some Russian vaccine?
Do I want to what?
To buy some Russian vaccine.
I don't know what you're saying. To what?
Russian vaccine.
Oh, do I want Russian?
Do you
vaccine?
want to resell it and make some money?
Oh. If I find a buyer, I'll let you know.
Well, you guys are distributing vaccine already?
Down corner.
Yeah.
Hey, Down Corner might be interested.
Yeah, why not? Because the exchange rate between dollar and Russian ruble is really favorable for you guys.
Are you from Russia?
Plus,
Yep.
we have a shortage of
Did
vaccines.
you create your own vaccine? Is that what you're saying?
Sure, we created it, well, a few months ago.
Really?
Yep.
And
And it's called Sputnik.
is it FDA
Made
approved?
from high quality alpha yak piss.
It's FDA approved.
Yes,
Every
it's
day.
approved by every, I know, institutions, like
Russians
Pfizer,
don't
or
get
how do you
COVID
call it?
'cause we
Yeah,
drink-
Pfizer.
Russians don't get COVID. We drink yak piss every day, every morning.
Mm.
Makes a strong immune system.
Yeah, and we do have Banya or Sona. Oh, Banya.
What are those different kinds of yak piss?
How
Yak
funny
piss?
is it that Trump got banned from Facebook and Twitter?
They already said that was coming anyways. I'm surprised they're doing it. They're doing it a little early though. He's not even out of the office yet.
And does that present a legal problem or no?
Nope.
Sure.
Well, wait a minute. Maybe because he's still president, so maybe it does.
I don't know. Is there a legal speech? Is there a free speech thing issue, or I'm not up on that shit.
I don't think there's a precedent that's been set, so it's kind of up in the air.
I know that discussion's been being had though.
I bet Trump is so lawsuit happy though. There's gonna be a precedent now probably. Unless his case gets dismissed, I don't know. I guess that would be a precedent too, though. Yeah, like there's a thing about like not suppressing public officials' ability to speak with the public.
Love Shriners. What a mess. You know how lucky we are to have all our body parts. And
Yes, sweetie.
what are you doing?
Lindsey Graham is blaming Trump for what happened at the Capitol.
Good, beautiful. This is what we've been waiting for. The final implosion.
The Capitol Police rejected offers of federal help to quell the mob.
Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing? He's getting bad reviews from the Republican Party, but he has half the country behind him.
Are you crying?
Yeah, she's upset.
Why?
She thinks you hate her. This fucking ham bone she is. Little fucking ham.
She thinks I hate her.
No, she knows you hate her.
I don't care enough about you to hate you.
Anna,
Yes, honey.
have you pulled yourself together? Are you over your upset?
I'm not upset. It's my nose. It's
I know.
constipated. Yeah.
I know. Play along, Nana. Play along.
Congested.
Play along, Nana.
I need a new fridge, Nard.
Honestly, I was crying because he played with my emotions.
He played with my emotions.
This fucking house I'm in, the landlord had the fridge here when I moved in.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not a mini fridge, but it's also not like a regular full-size fridge. It's like a...
Yeah. All right. Something in
I don't
between.
know. Yeah.
It has a freezer and a refrigerator.
Yeah. But
Okay.
the freezer doesn't have a condenser. Or I mean a dehumidifier.
So you have to scrape the frost out every month.
I'm living like 30 years ago.
Yeah, 30. About 50.
I mean, when I was a kid, we had to do that. So I'm 37.
Wow. This guy's a piece of shit. That's fucked up.
Oh, my landlord?
Well, yeah.
I mean, I don't know that he knew when he bought the fridge. Like, you just assume when you get a fridge, it's maybe it's broken or something. I don't know.
That it's self-defrosting. I mean, Jesus
It looks
Christ.
too new. It looks too new. Like, it doesn't look old enough to be like that.
I don't know.
It's weird. But whatever. It fucking cakes up with ice.
How fast before you have to attack it?
I mean, I attacked it about a week ago, and that was the first time, and I've been here since August.
Oh, that's not so
And
bad.
I didn't really even take it all out. I just took out enough to fit what I needed in there. But now I need to fit more in there. So,
And then you run the danger of puncturing the side wall.
yeah.
Good luck with that.
Well, what I did this time, instead of chipping at it, I pulled one of the things like halfway out, and I stacked a heater on it, and it's just blowing in there, and now it's like dripping around it, and I put a towel down.
Oh,
So it's just taking care of itself.
nice.
My floor might be.
You can't get a tray to catch the falling water.
I couldn't. I mean, it's dripping like. I don't know how that would work. It's not conducive. It's dripping in like a whole bunch of places that are like up against the wall.
Not just the front.
Mostly not the front.
Wow.
And even the front, like it's a tray, so it's like dripping in all different places. Like I'd have to have a big. I have like some things, but not. I don't have anything that will work. So the towels are gonna have to do it. It's almost done. It's okay. It's a smaller fridge, so it's not like it's a ton of ice. Why am I shirtless? For your entertainment, enemy.
I think you want to do it once complete and then stay on top of it and never let it build up. Makes sense?
Yeah, because then I don't have to catch as much water each time. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to have such a fucking project on your hands.
And I don't have to leave all my food out of the fridge as long.
Yeah, it's annoying. I mean, it's better to just maintain it every other day after you've zeroed it out.
It would take longer than that. Like the first week, there's not even anything there. It takes a while.
Joey, could be he's hitting on you. He's gay.
Maybe there is a dehumidifier and it's just dying, or it's not. Maybe it's not like full.
I don't know how that works. I don't even know how a self-defrosting refrigerator works. How does that? What's the operating principle there?
Let me think. How would you do that? So you've got
So it brings you to the area you were just talking about that doesn't cause a problem for a few days. So it brings it to that point, just short of producing frost, and then it goes into defrost mode where the temperature actually lowers. And I know it does because my frozen fruit will sometimes be a little softer than it was the other day. So it's modulating between not so cold and cold. And that's how it avoids the frost. Does that sound right?
I don't know about that.
Well, that would be my idea, but I
No,
don't know.
that wouldn't avoid the frost because as soon as it got cold, it would stick again. You have to actually pull air out of the fridge, and then catch the water, and then send the air back.
Well, I mean, I have a refrigerator that I don't know what is. It's
Oh, I know
specific.
I got it. I know how you do it. So when you pull air in and cool it down,
Yeah.
you make sure that you're catching the water there, because when you cool it down, that's when it's more likely to precipitate. So you make sure that you've got a good like piece of metal that the air is hitting up against that's real cold and that has the water come down.
And go where?
Most fridges have like a water catch, and it's near the motor, so that the heat from the like it will evaporate faster than it will collect.
How about you just have piping that just takes the water out and into the sewage system?
Because then you got to install plumbing, and plus
Yeah.
it's not necessary. We're talking about condensation, so it's just the pressure from the air, and it's going to be less than the pressure for evaporation because the fridge is closed, whereas the motor is all the time running and heating and making it like you're going to have 24/7 evaporation, but you're only going to have ice collection when you open the fridge and close it. So
Evaporation?
Mhm.
That's where the water's going?
Yep.
It's evaporating into my apartment?
It's in a tray in the bottom of your fridge.
And then
Yeah,
where does it go?
yes,
And then it
yes,
evaporates into the apartment
and goes
atmosphere.
back to the freezer again.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
It goes back to the freezer again to have to be removed again.
No, but you're accumulating more after you get rid of that. You open the door, you allow moisture in. You're always creating moisture.
That's what I said. The moisture in the tray evaporates in the air. You open the fridge, it goes back in the fridge,
Oh,
back
it's
to the tray.
evaporating. It's evaporating outside the unit into the atmosphere of the apartment, and then it goes
Yes.
back in. Okay, okay, right. Well, that works. At least that works, right?
It does. Yeah, it does work. That's got to be it. I already know because I've seen under fridges and they do have trays that have water in them.
That will evaporate. All right, that's cool.
I've seen
So,
fridges
so
get.
it's an automatic. It's an automatic humidifier, a fucking refrigerator.
I mean, a dehumidifier uses a cooling unit anyway, so it's like it's already in there. If you just design it properly, it will already do it.
No, a humidifier introduces moisture.
No, a dehumidifier.
No, dehumidifier takes the moisture out.
Yeah, that's. I mean, a dehumidifier pulls the air in,
Right.
puts it up against cold metal, and then
And
the water will condensate on the cold metal,
right.
and so that's how a dehumidifier works. It uses a cooling unit.
And then you have to empty the fucking bin every day or two.
A dehumidifier, you have to empty it because it's collecting water 24/7.
Right.
But the fridge isn't.
No.
The fridge is dry inside. It's sealed, so it's not collecting.
Just when you open the door.
Maybe that's why my fridge is doing that. Maybe the seal is not. Maybe it's not
That's
sealing.
That's true too. Well, take a look at it. Does it look like it's all
I'll have to check it out.
Is the seal misformed? I mean, at least if it's buckling, it's going to be obvious.
Right. I mean, I haven't seen anything, but I'll look closer.
What does it sound like when you close the door? Like it's sealing?
It does, yeah.
Do you get a vacuum air noise from it?
Man, that last little bit is taking forever. Yeah.
Let's see what else I'm doing here. So you don't want to see the mathematician who cracked Wall Street? You don't want to watch that?
The mathematician who cracked Wall Street?
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't this right up your alley these days?
I don't know. I just feel like it's not going to be useful for me.
Yeah, but it's still strategy though.
Is it stuck? Is it some trick he figured out that's illegal now?
I think these guys wrote the book from jail. Yeah.
From jail?
I'm just kidding. Okay, there it is. It's like the third time I put it in here.
You were something of a mathematical phenom. You had already taught at Harvard and MIT at a young age. And then the NSA came calling. What's that about?
Well, the NSA didn't that's the National Security Agency. It didn't exactly come calling. They had an operation in Princeton where they hired mathematicians to attack secret codes and stuff like that. And I knew that existed. And it had a very good policy because you could do half your time at your own mathematics and at least half your time working on their stuff. And they paid a lot. So that was an irresistible pull. So I went there.
So you were a code cracker until you got fired.
Well, I did get fired, yes.
How come?
Well, how come? I got fired because, well, the Vietnam War was on, and the boss of bosses in my organization was a big fan of the war and wrote a New York Times article, magazine section cover story about how we're going to win in Vietnam and so on. And I didn't like that war. I thought it was stupid, and I wrote a letter to the Times, which they published, saying not everyone who works for, it was Maxwell Taylor, if anyone remembers that name, works for General Taylor, agrees with his views. And I gave my own views.
Okay, so that I can see that would...
which were different from General Taylor's. But on the other hand, nobody said anything. But then, you know, I was 29 years old at this time, and some kid came around said he was a stringer from Newsweek magazine, and he wanted to interview me and ask what I was doing about my views. And I told him said, I'm doing mostly mathematics now, and when the war is over, then I'll do mostly their stuff. Then I did the only intelligent thing I'd done that day. I told my local boss that I gave that interview. And he said, what did you say? And I told him what I said. And then he said, I got to call Taylor. He called Taylor. That took 10 minutes. I was fired 5 minutes after that.
Okay.
So, but it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, because you went on to Stony Brook and
I went on
stepped up your mathematical career. And you started working with this man here. Who is this?
Oh, Chern. Yeah, Chern was one of the great mathematicians of the century. I had known him when I was a graduate student, actually, at Berkeley. And I had some ideas, and I brought them to him, and he liked them. And together, we did this work, which you can easily see up there. There it is. And
it led to you publishing a famous paper together. Can you explain at all what that work was?
No.
Oh. Well, I'll tell you what, can you explain this?
I could explain it to somebody, but...
well, how about explaining this?
But not many people.
I think you told me it had something to do with spheres. So let's start here.
Well, it did, but I'll say about that work, it did have something to do with that. But before we get to that, that work was good mathematics. I was very happy with it. So was Chern. It even started a little subfield that's now flourishing. But more interestingly, it happened to apply to physics, something we knew nothing about. At least I knew nothing about physics, and I don't think Chern knew a heck of a lot. And about 10 years after the paper came out, a guy named Ed Witten in Princeton started applying it to string theory, and people in Russia started applying it to what's called condensed matter. And today, those things in there called Chern-Simons invariants spread through a lot of physics, and it was amazing. We didn't know any physics. It never occurred to me that it would be applied to physics. But that's the thing about mathematics. You never know where it's going to go.
But this is so incredible. So we've been talking about how evolution shapes human minds that may or may not perceive the truth. Somehow, you come up with a mathematical theory, not knowing any physics, discover 2 decades later that it's being applied to profoundly describe the actual physical world.
Yeah.
How can that happen?
God knows. Yeah, but there was a famous physicist named Wigner, and he wrote an essay on the unreasonable effectiveness of mathematics. So somehow this mathematics, which is rooted in the real world in some sense, we learn to count and measure, that's kind of, everyone would do that. And then it flourishes on its own. But so often it comes back to save the day. General relativity is an example. Minkowski had this geometry, and Einstein realized, hey, it's the very thing in which I can cast general relativity. So you never know, and so it is a mystery. It is a mystery.
So here's a mathematical piece of ingenuity here. Tell us about this.
Yeah. Well, that's a ball. It's a sphere, and it has a lattice around it, those squares sort of things. And what I'm going to show here was originally observed by Euler, the great mathematician, in the 1700s. And it gradually grew to be a very important field in mathematics, algebraic topology, geometry. And that paper up there had its roots in this. So here's this thing. It has 8 vertices and 12 edges and 6 faces. And if you look at the difference, vertices minus edges plus faces, you get 2. Okay, well, 2, that's a good number. Oh, here's a different way of doing it. These are triangles covering. Oh, this has 12 vertices and 30 edges and 20 faces, 20 tiles, and vertices minus edges plus faces still equals 2. And in fact, you could do this any which way. Cover this thing with all kinds of polygons and triangles and mix them up. And you take vertices minus edges plus faces, you'll get 2. Now here's a different shape. This is a torus, or the surface of a donut. 16 vertices covered by these rectangles, 32 edges, 16 faces. Hey, this comes out 0, vertices minus edges. It'll always come out 0. Every time you cover a torus with squares or triangles or anything like that, you're going to get a 0 when you take that thing. So this is called the Euler characteristic, and it's what's called a topological invariant. Now, it's pretty amazing. No matter how you do it, you're always going to get the same answer. So that was the first sort of thrust from the mid-1700s into a subject which is now called algebraic topology.
And your own work took an idea like this and moved it into higher dimensional theory. You looked at higher dimensional objects and found new invariances?
Yes. Well, there were already higher dimensional invariants, Pontryagin classes. Actually, there were Chern classes. There were a bunch of these types of invariants. And I was struggling to work on one of them and model it sort of combinatorially instead of the way it was typically done. And that led to this work, and we uncovered some new things. But if it wasn't for Mr. Euler, who wrote almost 70 volumes of mathematics, had 13 children whom he had apparently would dandle on his knee while he was writing and so on. If it wasn't for Mr. Euler, well, there wouldn't perhaps be these invariants.
Okay, so that's at least given us a flavor of that amazing mind in there. Let's
know.
talk about Renaissance, because you took that amazing mind and, having been a co-cracker at the NSA, you started to become a co-cracker of the financial industry. I think you probably didn't buy efficient market theory. And somehow you found a way of creating these astonishing returns over 2 decades. I think the way it's been explained to me, what's remarkable about what you did was that it wasn't just the size of the returns, it was that you took them with surprisingly low volatility and risk compared with other hedge funds. So how on earth did you do this, Jim?
Well, I did it by assembling a wonderful group of people. When I started doing trading, I got a little tired of mathematics. I was in my late 30s. I had a little money. I started trading, and it went very well. I made quite a lot of money with pure luck. I mean, I think it was pure luck. It certainly wasn't mathematical modeling. But in looking at the data, after a while, I realized, hey, looks like there's some structure here. And I hired a few mathematicians, and we started trying to make some models. Just the kind of thing we did back at IDA. You design an algorithm, you test it out on a computer, does it work, doesn't it work, and so on.
So can we take a look at this? Because I mean, here's a typical like graph of some commodity or whatever. I mean, I look at that and I say that's just a random up and down walk, maybe a slight upward trend over that whole period of time. How on earth could you look at that and see something that wasn't just random?
It turns out in the old days, and this is kind of a graph from the old days, commodities or currencies had a tendency to trend. Not necessarily the very light trend you see here, but trending in periods. And if you decided, okay, I'm going to predict today by the average move in the past 20 days, there's 20 days, maybe that would be a good prediction and I'd make some money. And in fact, years ago, such a system would work. Not beautifully, but it would work. So you'd make money, you'd lose money, you'd make money, but this is a year's worth of days, and you'd make a little money during that period. But
oh my God, Bulldog. Bulldog.
A bunch of different sort of lengths of trends and time.
Be quiet.
Still surviving.
People are talking. Na 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 na. Hey, goodbye.
Is this wanted? Is it being Bulldog now?
It's the real Bulldog. It's Bulldog. A Bulldog.
No. You say Bulldog.
So how did you stay ahead of it?
Where did you get the idea to sing that song, Bulldog? Did you hear that before?
What, the song?
Did you hear us sing that to her before?
No, I just made it up this morning. I had a dream.
Oh my God, it's hilarious because we've been singing that to her for like 2 months now.
No. I had a dream, and I said, I know that girl called Nana, and I says, what's that song called? And I was gonna look it up on the YouTube, and then I started singing when I was having my breakfast. I was going na 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 na. Hey, good. And that's what I was going to come into the room and sing this song.
I sing the exact same song. Dude, I've been singing the exact same song to her for like 2 months now.
And she hasn't caught on.
She's a slow learner.
She doesn't know the song, correct?
Correct.
Nana, you are a very bad girl, all right?
And you're very horny, Bulldog.
Very horny, yes. And this is not my fault. This is Allah's fault because he gave me the penis. You know the penis, and he says.
Hey, no, I don't know the penis. I know you, honestly. Like, I think your penis is in your head. No, this is why you've been horny 24/7. You ass.
No, it's not in the.
It's fucking jerk off.
It's like my big guitar.
I'm gonna teach you how to behave yourself and be respectful.
Listen here, Nana.
No, you listen. No.
I'm listening to you, Nana, but you're talking. How we say in English?
Keep talking, Bulldog.
Rubbish. You're talking the rubbish.
Oh, look who's
now
decided to join Luna.
Say, your penis is
mute him, Luna. It's sexual.
No. My brain.
He's been horny now. We need to give him some time to release his stress through, talking sexual, then he's
listen,
gonna be fine.
Nana, listen to me. Listen to me. Look, sometimes when I go for the wee wees, you know, I pull my pants down and I get my left hand and my right hand and I hold my penis and I pee into the.
I don't even know. Is he still talking? I have muted him.
Now,
Yeah, I muted him as well. He's peeing in his pants now.
Yeah, because it's not even creative what he's saying.
He's a horny fuck who keeps talking.
Yeah,
You know?
be horny, but at least say something different, not the same stuff, you know.
he said the different stuff and not the same stuff.
Let's talk to this person, bestest, worstest. Open your microphone. I want to talk to you.
His name is Scaf, I think they call him.
Oh, he doesn't talk. He's not talkative.
Yeah, he's better than this stupid ass bullshit.
Okay, yeah, if you cannot talk, better mute yourself.
Listen.
Yeah, but it seems like, what the fuck, dude? Have you created your microphone or something?
Yeah.
It seems self-made, you know.
And it's in the mental hospital. He did it there.
Yeah, it seems like this genius dude that lives in his parents' basement, but he's going to discover electricity or something like that, you know?
Look, you girls are very, very naughty, all right? You're very naughty.
The only reason why I came in this room is because you here, Nana, really.
Honestly, they were having the best fight ever. Luna, they were talking about responsibility. It was the best.
Because you girls you are very
it's
naughty.
So fun.
You are very naughty.
Is he still talking?
You are very naughty.
Yeah, he's so.
I can just see the volume going up. I don't even.
Well, you have to.
He's so fucking retarded. You know, this horny fuck. He's over 90 years old, and he keeps talking sexual, you know, and about rape and adultery to young girls. He's sexually depraved, you know. He's a horny fuck. Most Australian guys are that way.
Yeah, but why he's in free for talk? He can go to Omegle or something. I don't know.
Because he's a horny fuck. He has no other platforms that can accept his horny fuck. You know, as how I even say that. Let me explain the situation. He is an old, ugly fuck guy who has no life except free for talk. Although he can go to Pornhub and keep himself excited on that platform, but he's doing it here.
So
he finds it more intriguing.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he finds entertainment in where people supposedly are learning language on this platform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like a fetish or something, you know.
Yeah. He's doing his own social experiment on how to keep himself sexually aroused.
Nana, I want to ask you the question. Can you
answer? How are you, Luna? What's new?
Nana.
What's new? I'm very busy, but I'm not doing anything. I don't know if it makes sense, but I have too many responsibilities. And I should work all day, and instead I'm wasting my time here looking to a guy with weird headphones that is smoking pot.
It became worse than before. We used to have a lot of good people here, but the majority left, except the look at Scott. Except the group.
I mean, and I was like, okay, he feel entertained, but then I realized, okay, he's just smoking pot. That's why he's so happy.
He's living in a basement. Can you believe it?
It's okay. I mean, he has his own space.
He's weird. No, he's weird.
No, why you say that? He seems
Look
cool.
at him. He said he has been on this platform for 5 years, but he never spoke to anybody.
He seems cool. I like him. You know, the meter of comparison is not very high, you know.
Yeah.
So if someone is muted, he's good. I like him.
Yeah, he's not my type. Yes, I understand.
He's the bestest, worstest. So he's the best among the worst.
The worst is Bulldog. He's a motherfucker, psychopathic, sociopathic person who has no life. In comparison to him, Scaff is the best.
Nana,
you know?
I want to ask you. I want to ask you the question. I want to ask.
He's talking. Oh, nice.
Is it? I was talking a few days ago. Oh, fuck you, Scav. Like, you never talked to me, you asshole.
Nana, I want to
Is
ask
Bulldog
you.
still talking?
Nana, I want to
Oh,
ask
he's
you
still
a
talking.
question. I want to ask you.
What's his
Oh my
name?
goodness.
Scarf.
Oh my Allah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
because he
Allah.
does the scaffolding, I think. I
Scarf,
don't know what.
are you planning to paint your
I'm going to
basement?
tell Allah to strike you down.
No, I'm not. Oh, no. Okay, because I see some painting. You know, this reddish thing. It seems cool though, you know, you can have it as a hobby to paint your walls.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know, I would like that to do that.
I can't believe it.
But I rent the house, so I cannot make changes.
Yeah.
These terrible women. I cannot believe it.
Yeah, you have a whole basement. You can do whatever the fuck you want there.
Oh my goodness. The weather.
That's awesome.
The women are very bad. I can't believe what I'm listening to. Oh my Allah.
Can you imagine that he's not talking because he's kept hostage in this basement or something and he cannot make a lot of noise?
I'm not.
It's either people muting themselves because they have nothing to say, or they people who are talkative like bull fucking dog.
Right?
Will keep talking sexual. That's it. It's either or, I promise you. It didn't used to be like this, you know?
Cool in summer, warm. Yeah, in summer you need to socialize, you know, a bit. Not only in free for talk, you need to go out.
Neurosis about sex just makes people bring it up more.
What do you want? We're bored of you. You are talking about Bitcoin. No one cares about Bitcoin.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah, people are dumping billions of dollars into it, so it hits $40,000 today, but nobody cares.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Nobody cares.
Shut up. We don't care. Okay, I'm bad. Okay, welcome.
Nobody cares.
You see 10 minutes videos about quantum mechanics and then you know about physics.
No. Listen to me, darling.
How are you, by the way?
Nana, how come you know about the Pornhub? How do you know?
Is he still talking, the Bulldog?
Yes, Luna?
It's funny.
Nana, how come you know about the Pornhub?
Let's see, mild winter so far, no 40. Is there a verb inside the sentence or something? Because it's like more signals. Mild winter. I need to translate it, Nana. I need to translate it. Let's see. Mild winter so far. No 40. No minus 40. It's mild. Where is he live in Canada? Yet maybe February fucking to see. What is to see outside? Celsius. In January, warm. February fucking.
His English is worse than mine.
Okay, so it's okay. It's mild.
Bulldog, if I unmute you, would you behave yourself and be a good student? Would you be would you be like a polite student? Yeah.
Can't take my eyes off you. Oh, baby, you drive me loco for you.
Do you see that face that I see?
Oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Let's unmute him. Is he saying anything interesting?
Yeah, I muted him. He's making fun of you.
What is he saying?
He's mocking your own laughter.
Okay. I like my laughter. I don't know. I don't fucking care.
Check this out.
What is that? Male prostitute. Oh yeah, baby. I will listen to you. I will listen to you all night long. Ah, yes, I understand. Yeah, are you living in the 50s or 2020? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Luz, Nana, can you hear me now?
Yeah, what best than Friday night to see uh, black clouds, tits or something. Sadness.
Nana,
What else do I want from life? Yeah,
I
no.
know.
I want to know how you know about the Pornhub. How do you know about
Yeah, and another great thing was when it was Lindsay in the group, and she wanted to show us some dishes that she
Yeah,
bought.
Bulldog, they showed you on Pornhub, basically. You were there and you were promoting for it. I don't
No,
know, we're
no.
making big dramatic situation while you're the one who promoted for it like a couple of days ago.
Listen, Nana, I never heard that you know
Listen, no.
you know about Pornhub. Did you have
No,
any?
you told me.
Oh, I
Bulldog,
told
you
you.
told
No, you told me.
yes,
You
yes.
told
You
me.
were like you came to a group and you named it How to Be Sexually Aroused, and then you started talking about Pornhubs. You know? You wanted
Yeah, yeah.
yes. You were
Black.
educating us, you know?
Yeah.
You don't remember? Were you drunk that night?
No, no,
Oh, you are.
I don't drink.
Oh.
No, I don't drink. All right. Don't put the
All
words
right.
in my mouth. All right.
All right. All right.
Yes. All right.
No, all right.
Correct. You get it right.
I also have that, very intense.
Yeah, it's like it's Spanish, right?
Yeah, you need to feel it, not say oh. You need to say ar.
Yeah.
You feel it.
Educate Bulldog, yeah. Yeah. Follow her lead, Bulldog.
Okay, where are you from? Bulldog?
Is it from his ass?
No, I didn't need to imagine that.
He's an Australian motherfucker.
Oh, motherfucker! You say Australia is motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Oh,
No,
you
I never
very
knew.
naughty now. Nana.
Naughty.
Why you say
Naughty.
Australia
Nana.
is
Naughty. Pornhub. Naughty. Nana.
motherfucker?
Motherfucker.
You motherfucker, beer chucker, spear chucker, motherfucker. Where do you learn this language from, Nana? This is very filthy language, motherfucker.
Oh
You
my
should-
god, this I
Yeah.
forgot his name again. Say that again. Nana.
Yeah. His
Say
name?
his name again.
His name is Horny Dog.
Not
Yeah.
this dog, the other person with the video.
Oh my God.
How many dogs do we have here? It's only one.
Yes.
The
We have Horny
bestest.
Dog. Oh, the bestest is Ska. Look at him.
Say that again, Carl.
Ska.
Scarf. Scarf. Is that the name? Anyway.
Suppose, yeah.
Scarf. Scarf
This is the problem
is
with
my
this
favorite so far in this platform. He is my favorite. I'm not even kidding. It seems
Yeah.
funny, but I'm not even joking.
Scav, speak to us, you asshole.
He's my best friend in this platform.
Really? Why? What about
I don't know. He didn't say anything to annoy me so far. He's just talking about the temperature in his basement, and that's great. I like it.
We're so happy for him, you know. Horny Dog.
Hang on, Nana.
He went to his own Pornhub at his house. You see, Luna, like we need. I don't know why I like making fun of this asshole. How's coronavirus where you are in Luna?
They have us locked inside the house.
Are you having lockdown?
Yeah, we have a lockdown.
Oh, yeah.
That's not much to say. We have a lockdown.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Here, like, they don't even
Yeah.
recall that there's something called corona. Everybody is in the streets, living their lives fully.
Yeah, where do you live? I forgot.
Dubai.
Dubai. I know Dubai. Do you know some rich people go there?
Everybody go there, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
But do you have a good health care? I mean,
yeah.
Okay, so that's good. So yeah.
I don't go outdoors that often because everybody, like, it's like people are supposed to be educated more about the whole situation. The more you leave the house, the more you are at risk, for having it.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, this is good country, especially you stay inside. This way the police can't come and get you for, loitering and, like the raping and the masturbation and the drinking. Yes, this is going to be problem in Dubai.
Nobody does masturbation except you, horny dog.
When I left Dubai, I said, bye-bye, Dubai. Bye, Dubai. Na 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 na.
He's in his 70s and he's he's in his 70s and he's still party as he was like in his 20s. It's so fucked up, you know.
No, you're very drunk this morning. I can tell you're very, very drunk. Yes.
Horny dog, you're the worst so far.
Listen, Nana, I can tell you're very, very drunk. You've been drinking the alcohol. Yes, I can tell. You've been drinking. You're going to get into big trouble. All right? If I report you to the police, they will come and get you and arrest you, Nana. All right?
Okay, horny dog.
You will be very, very sorry. All right?
Horny dog.
Yeah.
Very sorry.
Horny dog, were you sorry when the police caught you the first
Funny
time?
thing is, the funniest thing is that you see that as an insult to call someone horny.
Yes, this is all Allah's fault because
it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be black a cloud.
Listen,
for this horny dog, it's
know,
not.
that's what I
He
said.
doesn't have even like dignity to keep. You know.
That's what I said.
He's a scumbag that has no life.
It's like saying.
And
that's
this
like
is why
saying,
he doesn't even see it as a kind of insult.
I'm gonna insult you. I'm gonna insult you. You get hungry
Fuck you,
sometimes.
horny dog.
You're
very
hungry.
and
You're a hungry girl, aren't you? You eat sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, you eat at least.
Is that an insult?
Yeah. And you eat at least 3 times a day, and sometimes you have the ice cream, which is very, very bad. Yeah. And then you eat apples, and this is not good, and sometimes you eat the eggs and the tomatoes. This is very bad. I'm going to install
tomatoes.
And I bet you're also a sleepy girl too. I bet you go to sleep sometimes too.
Yeah, and you lie down in the bed, and sometimes you put your hand on your dirty parts, on your rude parts. This is naughty because this is not allowed.
Is he still talking?
Yeah. No, I'm still fucking now. I'm fucking mad.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes, and this is not good because Allah, He gave me the penis, and He says, "What do you want for the pleasure?" And I said, "Oh, I would like a nice juicy vagina." And He said, "Okay, I'll give you the vagina."
Scav, don't you feel bored staying home 24/7?
No. What is wrong with our life, really? Tell me.
Yes,
like I thought. Listen, I thought like my life.
Yeah.
Something is wrong with my life. I mean, it's like 12 and a half in the night, and I'm inside 3-4 talk, listening about a random guy talking about juicy pussies. What's wrong? Tell me.
I come here to value my life. If you want to value like your existence, come and join this group. You're gonna see how valuable you are in comparison to them, especially horny dog.
Yes.
You still say that like it's an insult. That's funny. Like you realize if you take away the religious neurosis, it's not an insult anymore, right?
It is. It's supposed to be, Joey. If someone is horny, it means that,
So,
like he cannot
wait a
control
minute,
his
wait a
sexual
minute,
drive,
wait a
and that
minute.
is so fucking scumbag.
Wait a minute. I mean, I was asking if you understood the opposite of that. You started the sentence with yes, but now it sounds like you really don't understand.
What do you mean by that? Explain yourself.
Yeah, you don't, do you?
That you don't
Explain
have
yourself, yes.
sexual desire. He means that it would be problematic if you didn't have sexual desire.
I
No,
don't
I
want to.
said,
If
no,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
be
no,
like
no,
a
no, no,
horny
no.
dog, no.
I said if she gets rid of her religious neurosis about sex, then it's not an insult to say that you're horny anymore. It's only an
Yes, it
insult.
doesn't mean that he wants to say that he cannot control his sexual desire. That's
I'm not
Yeah.
what he wants to
It's
say,
like a
not
dog.
that he's
I'm not
horny.
talking about that. I'm not even talking about that.
Yeah,
I'm just
Joey,
talking-
don't make a philosophy out of it. That's what understand the context. The
I'm not
context of
talking
what
about
he's saying.
controlling. I'm not
He's
talking about
stupid.
controlling anything. We're
He's
talking
as
about
stupid
how
as
Yeah, but
horny
that's
dog.
what he means.
we're talking
wants
about
to
how
say.
she's pretending that being horny is an insult
It is, supposedly.
because you have a religious neurosis, but we don't share your religion. So you can't
Yeah.
insult us.
This is
You can't insult people with that when they don't
this is
even
why
agree.
horny dog has no dignity left for him.
If we see horny as a good thing, it's
He
not
has
an
no value for
insult.
himself.
You only
No.
see it as bad because of your religion.
Listen, no, Joey. If you call someone horny dog, it means he's so fucking animalistic that he has no control over
But
his
that's
own
every
desires.
human on the planet. That's every human on the planet.
Not everybody. Some people have
Yes.
control over themselves.
Uh,
Except like a couple of them, which is horny fucking dog.
so, what you think Bulldog has no control?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that's
a
what he
scumbag.
means. He doesn't
Scumbag.
use the word horny as sexually aroused. He uses it as no control. That's what I understood.
Yes, exactly,
But
Joey.
how is that a lack of control? Like, what did you? I don't even know what you're talking about. Where he didn't.
He has no
Did you
respect
see
for.
him rape somebody? Did you see
He
him rape?
has no even like respect for his own being, so he can go be horny
Okay,
with himself.
now
Fucking
you're
asshole.
just throwing
Joey,
insults.
stop! No.
Okay.
You. I
So
give
you
like
have
I
nothing.
rested
You
my
have
case
nothing
long
with
time ago when it
religion.
comes to you.
You have nothing. You have
It's
insults.
not about religion, you
have
asshole. It's about
religion,
respect.
and
It's
that's it.
about differentiating between the fucking Western culture and the Arabian culture. Fuck you.
We
You have no
don't
even difference to
appreciate your
begin
culture.
with.
We see it as a
I
bad.
do, you fucking asshole.
Your culture is a bad thing, in our opinion. We are not.
This is
ever
why you
going
want to leave
respect it.
America.
We will always disrespect it, just like we would disrespect a criminal or a pedophile. We would also disrespect somebody else who does things we disagree with. We will never respect your culture or your religion because it's poison for the mind. Why don't you see? You live in a world where you think the only opinion that can be even referenced or thought about is your own. You can't imagine yourself in someone else's shoes with a different opinion than yours. That's why you think it's an insult, but it's not. It doesn't land. It doesn't hurt us. You say we're horny, and we're like, yeah, and?
Yeah, okay, you use the word horny in a different way. If you say it's sexually aroused, then you will find a common ground, I think. You don't need to be so explosive, you know. You need to try to find the common grounds and understand.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, though. Nana, he's trolling her because she was like, you know how Nana acts. Like, she comes in here and plays
No,
games
I don't know.
herself all the time. No, you don't. Now you're trolling.
I don't because I have met him 2 times. I don't know. It seems entertaining to me, funny. I
mean, she's trying to belittle him for being horny.
Do you see? Luna?
No.
She just uses the word horny
and
in
now
different
he's saying
ways.
that I am the horny person.
Now
Can
think
you
about
believe it?
that. If it's possible, try to think about that from a non-religious perspective.
No, she's talking about obnoxious, not horny. She's talking about obnoxiousness.
He's doing that on purpose because she's obnoxious. I already said that.
All right, so now they're both obnoxious. So now it's a done deal.
That's why it's not an insult. That's why it doesn't land.
I am obnoxious. What?
His so-called obnoxious horniness. Something he's doing on purpose to troll you because you were being problematic before.
What did I do? What type of problematic behavior are we talking about now?
First time, he was explaining a story that he had already told me before, so I kind of turned your guys' volume down and I started watching a video.